Hello friends, so I gave the ZAT paper today and I found it difficult. The cons section was difficult for me, even though I attempted 20 questions in VLR and 17 in the rest two sections. But I made some flukes. I did some calculated guessing here and there. So I think that was the reason of my attempts. But realistic attempts, in my opinion, would be around 13 or 14, I would say. Even in decision making, also, I found some options are very close, and that is the reason I did not attempt all the 21 questions because in mocks, I used to attempt all the 21 questions. So that strategy I changed during the exam. Also, the QADI was very difficult, and the primary reason I think that both the DI sets were not direct and you had to do a lot of calculation, and in one set which was the profit, like it was related to the trading company, and you had four variables, four or three, I don't remember, but X, Y, and Z. So you needed to calculate that, and to calculate that also, the parameters were changing like every 3 months. The profit should be so and so. So that was a little bit dynamic in nature. So that took a lot of time there. Also, the pie chart, it was a distributed pie chart and a multi-layered pie chart, I would say. So I think that was a little bit on the easier side. So I did that one DI, and also some of the questions were a little bit calculative, like some set theory questions I observed there. Also, one question which was related to the army of soldiers and three concentric circles. So I think that some questions were really interesting in that also. So I found some of the questions very interesting, but some of the questions were very lengthy and time taking also. Apart from that, I would say decision making is my favorite section in that because I like to solve real world scenarios which I would apply in business, real business scenarios. So I think decision making was at the level which we have observed from the last 2 or 3 years. That is my inference. Also, the VALR section, I think it was very dense, I think, because the RC passages were also very dense to read, and also one passage was related to, I think, philosophy or something, and philosophy is not my cup of tea. I skip right away those philosophical passages, but I try to attempt that in the real exam, and I did not mark, I think, 2 out of 3 questions in that. So all in all, I did attempt a few questions, and VA was easy, I think. The grammar questions, the fill in the blanks questions. So that I think was doable. So this was my summary of what I attempted in the paper. Do tell your attempts and what do you think of the paper of this year's that, and see ya.